Hello everyone, my name is Layla. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm coming at you with my reading wrap up for the month of April. And I read a decent amount of books this month and I am very happy with it. So some of these books I have with me, some I do not, because I did audiobook like 3 books this month. So let's get right into it. And these are in no particular order, but I really want to talk about this one because it was 5 stars and it was really good. It's a comic book. As you can see, it has a great art style. I love it. It's really cute. It is called Quiet Girl in a Noisy World, an introvert story by Debbie Tung. And if you're an introvert, you will relate to this so much. It is so cute. It's just basically what it's like to be an introvert, kind of like your likes and dislikes, and this woman in grad school, and then shortly after grad school, and her journey with that. And it is just really cute. If you just want a cozy read where nothing super bad actually happens, but it just makes you happy, this is it. Oh yeah, I rated this one 5 stars. Now to switch things up a little bit, I did read a thriller and it is called The Maid. I absolutely loved this book. Second highest rated, which is 4.5, which is, like I said, The Maid. And it is about this girl, Molly the maid, who is working in a hotel, and then their biggest client, the most rich client, infamous, he dies in the hotel. And then it's about that because she's the one who found him, but she's also not great with like social cues and social situations and stuff, so she finds herself in some tricky situations. And this book was so good. I really loved it. It was hilarious. Molly is such a sweet character that everybody loves. I read this for Barnes & Noble book club with my mom, and we both absolutely love this book, but I knocked off 0.5 stars simply because of the epilogue. I thought that it was inconsistent with the rest of the book, which I absolutely loved. So it's literally just those couple pages at the end. Like if I could have scratched that, it would have been a complete 5 out of 5. A new favorite. It's still a new favorite actually, because it was really good. 10 out of 10 recommend that you read this. Sorry, I had to fix the angle a little bit. Next is I Must Belong Somewhere by Dawn Lanuza, and I gave this 3 stars. It is a poetry collection. It has over 100 poems, which is very impressive. However, I feel like this might have been better for a younger age group. Sometimes I felt like I was reading a children's book, which is fine, but that's not really my vibe for my reading and my personal enjoyment. But there were a few things I liked, such as nobody said you wouldn't miss the very person you dismissed, and maybe for a change, let's assume that this ends well. Would you take the chance? Leap of faith. I liked that. Another audiobook I read was called Problem Child. I have never heard anybody talk about this book actually. It is another thriller. It is about a woman who is a sociopath, and she doesn't really like people, doesn't really care, but her niece goes missing. Again, she doesn't really care, but then she finds out that her niece is actually a lot like her. So then she goes to look for her niece, who is also might be a sociopath, and goes to find her. I rated this 3 stars because though I did love it and I love the premise, I felt as though it was off topic for a decent amount of the book. Like there was like a couple chapters that was just about like wind turbines, which is fine, but I would have preferred to just stay on the topic of the subject at hand, which is her 16-year-old niece that was missing. But I did really love the tone, was very consistent of the main character, whose name I have forgotten, but I did like the tone. I liked how the ways that she thought. It was very interesting. So there's that. I also read the first 3 Heartstopper novels. Me and my sister have been reading these together, which is why I don't have the 3rd one with me, because she is reading that right now. But we will both also be reading the 4th one sometime soon, because everyone and their mom has read these. So I just wanted to try them, and I was pleasantly surprised. 2nd and 3rd ones I rate 3 stars, and the first one I rate 4 stars. And this is about Nick and Charlie, 2 boys, and their romance, which is kind of complicated because Charlie has been bullied in the past. They both go to an all-boys school. Charlie has been bullied in the past for his sexuality, and Nick thought that he was straight before he met Charlie. So there's that. I think that I rated this one higher because of the whole will they, won't they type of thing, and I was giggling more. It was just, I think, a little more flirty at times. But these are also very cute, and the boys are in high school, so you see a lot of that. And yeah, I would still recommend these books. The last book that I audiobooked this month was called House of Hollow, and man, this was a good book. I have never read a horror book all the way through before until this book, and this book makes me want to try more horror. And yeah, I've been actually recommended, what is it called? Tender as the Flesh. So let me know if you like that or if you read that. But anyways, House of Hollow is about 3 girls, Iris, Vivi, and Gray, and they're sisters, and they're kind of weird, and it's told from Iris's perspective. And the girls went missing when they were younger, when they were like 11, 7, and 4 or something like that, and then they had disappeared for an entire month, came back with white hair and black eyes, and nobody knows what happened to them, and the girls don't remember. But then there's like strange things, kind of abilities ish that they have, and when they get older, their older sister goes missing, and they're trying to figure out if it's connected to what happened to them in the past. And this was really good. Like, I'm not actually scared of horror, which is why I've never really read a horror book all the way through, but this is just has some nasty stuff. Like, it was gross. And like, if you have like a phobia of bugs or anything like that, this will probably be for you if you want to be scared. And I really liked this book. I rated it a 4-star, because I'm picky with my 5 stars, and also because I did have some questions at the end that if they would have been answered, it would have been just nicer to know. I think it would have been like, wow, but it was still like that towards the end, and I 10 out of 10 recommend this book. Another comic book that I read this month is Ghosted in LA, Volume 1. This has some of the cutest art ever in the whole world. It is so colorful. It's so nice. It honestly kind of reminds me of something that you'll see on like Nickelodeon or perhaps Cartoon Network. I could see either of those, maybe more so Nickelodeon with this, especially with like the color and how colorful it is. Actually, yeah, we should make this into a Nickelodeon show, because this is about a girl who is now in her first year of college, and so she chose to go to college all the way in California just to be with her boyfriend, who dumps her the night she gets there. And she finds herself in this abandoned hotel, and there are ghosts there, and she's lonely, so she's like, can I stay with you guys? And they say yes. And this is about them, and she has to try to keep it a secret and all of those things, and also try to deal with her ex. So that is kind of funny. And I did like this book, but I only rated it a 3-star because I did not love it. Like, although I love the art, the plot I think kind of had like ups and downs as far as my interest. So that is why I rated it a 3-star. The last comic book I read this month is Sea of Sorrows. I really like the way this look. I mean, look at it. Look at it. And this has really nice art. This is a horror graphic novel. It's good. I really love the art. Again, the art is my favorite part of this. I did also only give this a 3-star. I have a decent amount of 3 stars in this wrap up, but I only gave this a 3-star because at times I was a little confused as to what exactly was happening and who was talking throughout the novel, and I was like, I'm confused. But it is perfectly fine. You may be able to understand it better than I am, but I really enjoyed this book. It is about people who, I guess, all kind of have a past. They're not the best people, but they go in search of gold in the middle of the ocean just to find that there's a siren there. This is her, and a lot of stuff goes down when the siren makes her appearance. The last book that I read this month was called Homebody by Rupi Kaur. I do own this book, but I don't know where it is. I lost it. I was just looking for it. I don't know where it is. But this is a poetry collection again, and I liked this one. I also gave it a 3-star. I like Rupi Kaur's writing, and I will read everything that she writes. However, I don't think I've ever given anything that she's written more than a 3-star, simply because with poetry collections, there are going to be some that you really like and some that you only kind of like, and so there's a decent amount of ones that I only kind of like, but there were some things that I did really like, and if I had the book to flip through, I could give you more specific examples, but I do believe that I did that in my last reading vlog, so go and watch that if you want to see more of my opinions. To review, my favorite books this month was The Maid and Quiet Girl in a Noisy World, and if I had to choose least favorite books from this month, and again, this is just my opinion, I know that authors work really hard, so I'm not trying to invalidate that or anything. My least favorite book was I Must Belong Somewhere, just because I honestly didn't feel that much about this book. And I read 2 horror books if you include Sea of Sorrows. I read 3 romances, which were all of the graphic novels that I was talking to you about except Sea of Sorrow. I read 2 thrillers, which were The Maid and Problem Child, and I just think that the introverted story is just more cozy. And then I read 2 poetry collections for a total of 10 books. So I am very happy with this month, and I will continue to read more because I really enjoy just reading and being able to read that much. It makes me so happy. So if you've made it to the end of this video, please let me know what books you read this month and what was your least favorite book and your most favorite book, and if you have one, your most favorite book of all time. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe so you can see more content from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.